All right, I am here at Hotel 1928 in Waco. Welcome everyone. So I got to do today actually a little borderline investigative journalism, if you can call it that. I don't think we actually can, but I did come to this hotel because it is not far from me. And I know people say, "Oh, don't give away your location." It's already out there, and I'm going to move soon anyway, so whatever. But yes, I do live not far from here where Blake Lively was Saturday night. So I'll show you the hotel in just a moment. But I want to acknowledge something right from the outset. One of my biggest supporters on here, Neil Price, I accidentally blocked you from the chat. Sorry. And it was an honest mishap. I wanted to actually check out your YouTube and I clicked on it and then it blocked you. It hid you or whatever. I will change that today. I promise. I don't have time to do it right now. And I'm so technologically illiterate. I can't do it, but don't be offended, Neil Price. You're one of my biggest fans. I would not block you. Anyways, so let me do this. I don't want to be obnoxious here, so I'm not going to do a full pan around. I'll do it, and plus I don't want to ruin my shot here, so I'll do it toward the end. But I am at Hotel 1928, and it is true. I very well easily could have been Blake Lively's waitress Saturday night. And I don't want to make too much of this or whatever, y'all. Okay. I mean, this is just kind of a silly story and something to pass the live stream today. But I'm not going to lie that there was a moment when I found out that she had been here in Waco at this hotel the other night, and yes, she did have dinner here at this restaurant. I've got some info, some tea for you because a friend of mine was working here when Blake Lively was here. I just talked to her just a minute ago. Not going to name her. Don't want to get her fired, but anyway. So yeah, I found this out last night. That Blake Lively had been just a few minutes from me and a few minutes from where I actually do waitress, where I do work. I found this out last night because there's a TikToker or Instagram or whatever. There's somebody out there in social media who did a video or a series of videos claiming that when she and I believe it was her mother stayed at this hotel Saturday night, Blake Lively was here and that this person, which I don't think this was cool to do this person took out a camera. I didn't watch actually the video. I watched a bit of it and then I got a recap. So I'm sorry if I'm getting some of this wrong. I just don't care enough to actually watch the video series. I'm sorry. This is not a big deal. This is just trivial gossip, what we're doing right here. And I don't have any illusions about it otherwise. But this person claimed something to the effect of how she had taken out her camera to get a shot of Blake Lively or something, or maybe she denies that she took out a camera, that she was trying to get a shot of Blake. I don't know, but whatever. But the point is, this person claims that Blake got upset then to some degree, was discomforted, and then grabbed a set of crutches that she had come in with and a hat. And I guess, and the person was surmising that maybe the crutches were like part of her disguise to disguise her identity and so forth, because this hotel, I mean, this is not like a high security area or anything. And like, I know this person said that Blake Lively had some security with her, but like everything's very out in the open here. And you know, it's kind of hard to hide from someone in this restaurant, in this hotel, if they're checking in. So anyway, the point is, she said that Blake Lively then became uncomfortable and grabbed the crutches, grabbed the hat, and then from that point on, this person was claiming that she and her mother were kind of being like low-key surveilled by Blake Lively's security, and seemed to be claiming that they were kind of following them around a bit and that sort of thing. So again, I don't care enough to actually watch the video, but there was some controversy about something that might have gone on here with a content creator and Blake Lively. So anyway, that was not my interest though. My interest was, as soon as I heard this, I was like, holy shit, because I almost got a job here. I was looking for an upscale waitressing job in the area and something that would be close to me. And that narrowed it down to 3 restaurant candidates. And this was my second choice. And I ended up going with another one because it was a bit closer to me, all still in the area. Right. And then my friend works here had actually been trying to get me a job here, had been telling me for weeks and weeks, hey, come over here. I like it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to leave because I like where I am. Right. But the point is that I could have very well been Blake Lively's waitress if the sliding doors had opened or not opened, and I had ended up working here, because I definitely considered it and almost did it. So I just imagine in my mind, I guess this is what's funny to me, y'all, is I imagine in my mind, like, I went Friday night to South by Southwest. So I went down to Austin to protest Blake Lively. And then little did I know that the very next night she was coming here to where I live, not to see me, but coming here. It's just like it is a weird thing. Dave Neal said it's almost like we're living in the Matrix, and it does kind of feel like that sometimes. But this is what I imagine in my mind. I did go to work Saturday night when I got back, right? And what if things had been different and I had been a waitress here? Wouldn't it have been absolutely hilarious if after I did that protest Friday night, I show up here, I go to Blake's table. They're like, "Oh, you're working Blake Lively's table party tonight." And I go up there and Blake turns around and I'm like, "What would you like?" Crazy. That would be crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, but let me give you, people want to know if I got any info. And again, I'm not claiming any of this is important or relevant to anything. This is just celebrity gossip stuff, right? And I also want to say too, I don't think that content creator, and I can't think of her name at the moment, but the one who was talking about Blake Lively, who was here this weekend, I should say, I don't think that if she did take out her phone to take pictures of Blake or video of her, I don't think that's right. I think it's one thing if you're going to an official event, an official professional event that invites the public, like a movie premiere, and you keep a distance and whatever, and this person knows that they're here for a premiere, they're here to be seen, they're here to represent something, they're here to face the public. I think that it's appropriate then to take photographs or video or what have you. But when someone is in off-duty hours, so to speak, and they're with their kids and they're just trying to get checked into a hotel, or they're just trying to hang out with some friends, I don't know. I think it'd be better not to get the camera out. I'm not saying that I absolutely 100% know that I would be above that, but it's not something I want to endorse. And so, I feel like we don't have too many lines. We don't have too many boundaries in this new media age, and in the stuff that we're doing, content creating. It is real rough and tumble and edgy. But I do think that that's something that, and if I knew that Blake Lively were here at this hotel, I hope that I would not be coming up here and sitting up here, because that would be like weird, like stalkerish behavior. Seriously. So, and I don't do that. I've gone in my life to less than a handful of very public events where people were presenting themselves for public consumption. All right. But anyway, but here's the thing that I want to get at, and it's going to be a short stream because I got to go. But here's the thing that I think is really interesting is that Blake Lively was clearly here to see Chip and Joe. Well, to see Joanna Gaines. I don't know about Chip, but to see Joanna Gaines, and that's who's on the screen right there. And it is no secret. Again, I'm not intruding into her friendship to say that these are friends, because she herself has bragged about it a lot. And here's the thing, y'all. Here's the rub for celebrities, and this is what I want to say, kind of in contradiction to what I just said earlier in a way. But celebrities have to understand that when they commodify, when they monetize their private life and their friendships and things of that nature, then they are opening themselves up to then what we're doing right now. You just can't have it. As someone who myself, I feel like I'm kind of trying to be a celebrity with the YouTubing and stuff, right? Like, I understand these things, and I understand like the risks of commodifying your private life. And so it's, Blake Lively, if she wants to kind of sneak into Waco and have this business meeting or whatever with Joanna Gaines, or maybe it was just a friendship thing, but she wants it to stay really, really low key, and she doesn't want people to know, whatever. But then at the same time, you can Google her online, and you can see where Blake Lively is bragging publicly, repeatedly, about her friendship and her connection with Joanna. And every time I get a text from her and it says Joanna Gaines, I'm just like, oh, and that's fine. But you're commodifying your private life at that point, and you invite this sort of thing in. That's That's the devil's bargain. That's, what Mephistopheles offers, so to speak. So anyway, here's what I got. Here's a little bit of dish that I got. Okay, apparently Joanna Gaines and Blake Lively sat in the corner all night Saturday night, just totally like into each other, and I mean in a in a friendly way, not starting those kinds of rumors, but like huddled in the corner basically of this restaurant Saturday night. They were there with friends. They were there with a larger table of people, I guess friends of the Gaines, maybe of Joanna's, and but it was basically I'm told that it was basically just the two of them, Joanna and Blake Lively, like locked in with each other, just like intensely talking all night. Which is, again, great. They're friends, what have you, right? But here's what's interesting to me. 2 points on this. All right. First of all, I wonder if Joanna and Blake Lively are about to enter into some business ventures with each other. I wonder if that's the case, or if this was just maybe just I haven't seen you in a while. I know you're going through really intense stuff in your life, and let's talk about it. I don't know, but I do think it's interesting. You've got with I don't follow the Chip and Joanna stuff. I don't give a shit about Fixer Upper stuff. I don't like those fucking silos. I mean, they're pretty or whatever, but those fucking silos, they don't mean anything to me. I don't think I've ever watched their show except when my mom tied me down and forced me to watch it. Well, she didn't tie me down actually, but my mom likes their stuff. So like every now and then when I'm going home to see my mom, then she'll have that on TV, whatever. But it's just not my bag. I respect what they've done. They're like taking over Waco too, dude. It's like becoming Chip and Joanna world down here. And believe me, the locals are ambivalent about it, to say the least, as you would expect. But they've definitely they bring a lot of tourism. There are people who come from all over the world to visit those silos and to visit the Chip and Joanna Gaines bakery or whatever it's called. I know it's not the name of it. And they do have some good lavender cupcakes, to be quite frank with you. But there are people who come from all over the world. And I just want to be like, why? Why? Sorry, got too loud now. I hope no one notifies them about what I'm doing here. They'll come and kick me out midstream. Anyway, people are like, and what's funny though too is like there'll be tourists like from all over the country or even all over the world who come here because they've seen the Chip and Joanna stuff on TV and they want to check it out, and they'll spend maybe a few hours or whatever or a day really exhausting everything there is to see and do in that department, and then I'll see people sometimes out and they'll be like, so what else is there to do around here? And I want to be like, nothing. You've come to a wasteland. Why are you here? The Branch Davidian compound still exists. I did go visit there once. You can actually go to one of my playlists. I think I have it up where I paid a visit to the Branch Davidian compound, and it's no longer run by a hot cult leader like David Koresh. It's run by a kind of fat guy, blind guy in a wheelchair. It's a little bit of a step down there. No offense to the disabled. It's just the overall package. It's just not David Koresh, right? But there are still some people out there. So that's some interesting tourism. They have an anti-government, they have a museum. It's a church, but they've turned it into a museum. It's got all this anti-government propaganda, but it's also got anti-David Koresh propaganda because they have decided now that he was a false prophet and they renounce him, this cult, right? And so anyway, it's not particularly interesting, I suppose, but the history is, wow, the history of what happened there. And I love the movies, the miniseries about it, or the TV dramas about it. One was Taylor Kitsch, where he played David Koresh. He was good. But anyway, back to the point. So I wonder if Blake Lively and Joanna Gaines are going to go, because Blake Lively is very into sort of the Martha Stewart stuff. Didn't she even try to start her own Martha Stewart kind of line for a while? For a while, there was even a lot of talk that she wasn't going to be acting, that she had decided after she got married that she really wanted to focus, kind of Meghan Markle Tig like, focus on the home crafts kind of stuff, fixer upper stuff, home and garden, I guess. I don't know. I'm so divorced from this perspective. But anyway, here's my thing that I want to say to Joanna Gaines, all right, and Chip as well, I guess, because he's going to be involved in this if they're merging business ventures here. Joanna, you may be great friends with Blake Lively, but beware of this woman, because she's going to seem really, really cool when you're in the initial planning phases, and the next thing you know, she's going to be encroaching, and she's going to want to take over parts of the project that you wanted to do yourself or that were not designated for her. She's going to start encroaching, Joanna. She's going to encroach. And before you know it, she's going to take those fucking silos away from you, and she's going to put Blake Lively, she's going to put Blake Brown like on the side of it, dude. It'll be the Blake Brown silos before you know it. Before you know it, Joanna. And next thing you know, Chip Gaines, you're going to be slapped with some kind of complaint, official complaint that's been filed with the Texas Civil Rights Commission because you were sexually harassing Blake Lively on set. Well, not on set, but in the workshop, so to speak, right? So, Chip, you better stay the hell away from Blake Lively because she sees toxic male behavior everywhere she looks. You're not safe just because you're with Joanna, right? Because Blake Lively's going to get in there. She's going to start resenting Joanna. She's going to start trying to take over shit because that's what she does and getting really like bossy and manipulative and undermining. The next thing you know, you got Taylor Swift making a visit down here to Waco trying to tell you what you need to do. And it's just the whole thing. It's just a shit show. And then your husband, Chip, is going to be slapped with some kind of sexual harassment lawsuit or something. You just better stay the fuck away. Stay the fuck away. That's my warning there. Now, here's the last thing, though, that I'll say. The idea of Blake Lively and Joanna Gaines, being really close friends and huddled in the corner talking all night, I just have to wonder what kind of BS stories Blake was probably giving Joanna, because God knows she was not giving her the truth, right? About the whole Justin Baldoni situation or everything. I'm sure that's what they were spending a lot of time talking about. And I can just imagine Blake sort of twisting things and being like, and then he did this, and then he did that, and then he showed me this video, and I thought it was pornography, but then it was a birthday video. And then Joanna like, oh, yes, I know. I'm a tough alpha woman in a man's world too. Well, I don't know if decorating is a fixer up though. Construction, right? It's a man's world. Joanna's probably like, I know what it's like to be a businesswoman, a strong, independent businesswoman in a masculine dominated world. They're just constantly trying to undermine you. Aren't they, Blake? Aren't they? That's kind of how I imagine it going in my mind. I don't know anything about Joanna, but I do kind of hear just at the level of gossip that she's not necessarily the nicest person in the world, but I'm not necessarily the nicest person in the world either. So I don't want to get into the truly, I think, sexist or misogynist trap of expecting that women need to be sweet, because I ain't sweet. But I do think it's just kind of funny imagining Blake Lively and Joanna Gaines like in the corner, and Blake's telling her all of her sob stories about everything that she's been through and what Justin Baldoni did to me. So. Anyways, y'all, I think that is, a little more dish too. Someone wanted to know, though, could I look into the story that is being told online by that content creator about the experience that she says she and her mother had, and the security kind of trailing them or being weird or some kind of weirdness with Blake Lively? Again, y'all can look it up yourselves. But I did ask my friend, who says that people around here talk, and they would talk if there were anything really noticeable that happened. So in terms of any accusations that there might have been some kind of like verbal altercation or something that would have caused a disturbance, or Blake Lively looking really, really stressed out, my friend said that she had not heard anything like that. She did verify the crutches thing, though. She said that Blake Lively did come in with a pair of crutches or on a pair of crutches or whatever, but she verified that. So that, I guess, would give some credibility at least to this person's story if their story includes Blake Lively having crutches, and as it turns out, she did have crutches. So I can verify the crutches, can't verify the story about some kind of like disturbance or altercation or whatever, and again, she's here with her family, with her kids. Brian wasn't with her, or if he was not, he was not seen by the staff or whatever. But she's here with her kids, and she is now living her private life, and it's not a public function. I think we can have more respect than that. But again, look, I draw lines at different places than others. I don't want to tell other people what to do, but I guess what I'm saying is I can kind of understand if I'm in Blake Lively's position, and then someone in my off hours starts taking pictures of me or whatever, and then I could see being ruffled by that, and maybe even telling my security to kind of keep an eye on them. I don't know. She is here with her kids. I get that. So, all right, I'm going to cut this stream off. Thank you to my mods. I want to get us under 20 minutes on this thing. So thank you so much to my mods. I'm sorry to Neil Price. I will add you before tomorrow. Thank you all. See you later. Bye-bye.